Uber has not had a smooth entry into the European market. The transport concept, brought from California, has grown hugely popular. Drivers pick up nearby customers in their private cars using a smartphone application. But Uber's cheap fares and unlicensed operation has angered European taxi companies, sparking widespread protests. Uber is now banned in cities like Paris, Berlin, Madrid, and Brussels.
In many markets we've entered around the world, and we're now in 56 countries and 300 cities. The rules in place protect the incumbent taxi industry, so very protectionist regimes. So at first you get a difficult response, but when you sit down, you explain to politicians the benefits for mobility, the benefits in reducing congestion, the benefits in terms of being able to afford to get around the city, people tend to understand.
Taxi drivers in Brussels are forced by law to pay expensive insurance, tax, maintenance, and license fees, and say they simply cannot compete.
In 10 euros, we have 65% taxes we cannot take off. On 10 euro, I have to pay 6.5 euro.
In costs?
In costs, only in costs.
That frustration has resulted in several recorded attacks on Uber drivers, forcing Brussels to review its taxi laws.
In the future, we want to develop a general framework that modernizes our taxi legislation in order to make it possible that new forms of paid transport of people will be possible. But of course, we will put strict conditions on it, which are equal for everybody, so that there is a loyal competition for every player in the market. And that means respect for the social rights of drivers, and it means also respect for fiscal legislation.
Uber says it's willing to comply without drastically changing its business model.
There's a tremendous myth out there that somehow Uber doesn't want to be regulated. We want to be regulated, we want to be fully licensed in every single market in which we operate. We're just saying that the rules and regulations in place are not fit for purpose, they're not up to date with technology.
But Europe's powerful transport unions aim to stand in the way, making the road long and the ride tougher for Uber in Europe. Uber has now lodged formal complaints here at the European Commission against the governments of France, Germany, and Spain, citing irregular and unfair treatment. But EU officials say they'll explore ways to enforce more common rules across the European market. Sandra Gathmann, CCTV, Brussels.